The world of hip-hop has long been synonymous with glamour, power, and excess, but the ongoing legal saga surrounding Sean "Diddy" Combs casts a shadow over this glittering facade. Once celebrated as a billionaire music mogul, Combs now sits in a New York prison cell, facing serious charges of sex trafficking, racketeering, and a litany of other allegations that paint a picture of a man whose charisma masked a deeply troubling reality. For those who work closely with him, like former personal assistant Phil Pines and reality show contestant Sarah Rivers, the revelations are not surprising but a painful reminder of the monster-like behavior they witnessed. As the evidence mounts and more accusers come forward, the question looms. How did Combs allegedly perpetrate such acts for decades? And what does justice look like for those affected? Phil Pines thought he had landed his dream job when he became Diddy's senior personal assistant in 2019. At the time, Combs was a titan of the music industry, a man whose influence stretched from chart-topping hits to lavish parties attended by the elite. For Pines, a young man eager to break into the music world, the opportunity to work for someone of Combs' stature was exhilarating. "I was excited," Pines recalls. "This man is one of the most powerful, one of the most influential." His role was to be Combs' right-hand man, available 24/7 to manage everything from scheduling to organizing extravagant events. One such event was Combs' 50th birthday party in Los Angeles, a multi-million-dollar spectacle with a custom-built structure in his backyard. For Pines, it was a glimpse into a world of unimaginable wealth and excess, one he initially felt privileged to be part of. But the sheen of glamour quickly faded. Pines' duties took a sinister turn as he was tasked with procuring and transporting drugs, marijuana, mushrooms, and other substances, packaged in what was euphemistically called a Diddy pack. This satchel, carried at all times, was a constant reminder of the darker side of Combs' lifestyle. More disturbing were the events Pines refers to as Wild King Nights, exclusive gatherings in hotel rooms or Combs' bedroom, where Pines was responsible for setting the stage with baby oil, Astroglide, candles, incense, liquor, and an array of toiletries. These were not ordinary parties but orchestrated events that, according to allegations, facilitated Combs' alleged coercive and exploitative behavior. Pines was not a participant in these gatherings, but his role as a cleaner of the aftermath exposed him to their grim reality. Hotel rooms were left in disarray, with half-open bottles of alcohol, cracked glasses, and baby oil and lube smeared across surfaces. Wearing gloves and a mask, Pines cleaned these spaces, ensuring no evidence remained. The task was degrading, but refusal was not an option. "If I said that to Diddy, I wouldn't have worked there," Pines explains. "They would find somebody else." The implied threat was clear. Cross Combs and your career in the music industry would be over. Combs' connections spanned managers, executives, and attorneys, giving him unparalleled power to control those in his orbit. The allegations against Combs are staggering in their scope and severity. Federal charges include sex trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in prostitution, with additional lawsuits alleging domestic violence, rape, and blackmail. One particularly shocking claim involves Combs allegedly forcing a male escort to urinate in the mouth of his former partner, Cassie Ventura. These accusations are supported by a growing number of accusers, hundreds, according to some reports who have come forward with stories of abuse spanning decades. A call center in Billings, Montana, established to handle claims against Combs, has received 15,000 calls, with attorney Andrew Van Arsdale representing 37 clients, including one who was allegedly just 15 at the time of the offense. "Some of these people have been sitting with this secret for 30 years, Van Arsdale says, highlighting the fear of retaliation that kept victims silent. For Sarah Rivers, who met Combs in the early 2000s as a contestant on his MTV reality show Making the Band, the mogul's charm initially seemed like a ticket to stardom. "I looked up to him," she recalls. "He was a mogul, and I listened to all the artists he made superstars." But her dream quickly turned into a nightmare. Rivers describes Combs as an arrogant bully who intimidated those around him. In one chilling incident, he cornered her in a studio hallway, rubbing his hand down her breast in an unwelcome advance. "I was intimidated," she says. "I ran out of the studio as fast as I could." Fearing disbelief and retaliation, she stayed silent, only to face what she believes was blacklisting from the industry after rejecting him. "Something that you love is taken from you," she says, her voice breaking. "You're stuck." Pines, too, experienced a moment that pushed him to the edge. During one of Combs' Wild King nights, Combs demanded Pines prove his loyalty by engaging with a female guest. Frozen with discomfort, Pines complied briefly before fleeing the scene. "I felt powerless," he admits. "I couldn't tell him no." The experience plunged him into depression, and only now, years later, is he beginning to heal by sharing his story. "There's power in it," he says. "This is like a huge therapy session for me." Combs' defense team has taken a risky approach, admitting to his unlikable traits, describing him as dishonest, violent, and a promiscuous swinger, but arguing that these do not equate to criminal guilt. The strategy hinges on convincing a jury that while Combs may be deeply flawed, the evidence does not prove the federal charges against him. Yet the mounting evidence, including leaked CCTV footage of Combs assaulting Cassie Ventura in a Los Angeles hotel, paints a damning picture. Pines recalls another incident at Combs' Miami residence, where he witnessed Combs kick a topless woman during an argument, his eyes just black with rage. These accounts, combined with the sheer volume of accusers, suggest a pattern of behavior that was both brazen and enabled by his power. The question of how Combs allegedly got away with such behavior for so long is a complex one. His charisma and influence created a cult of fear and loyalty, where employees and associates felt trapped by his control over their careers. The music industry, with its hierarchical power dynamics, provided fertile ground for such exploitation. As Van Arsdale notes, he was brazen in his attempts to coerce people into these compromising sexual acts. The fear of professional and personal ruin kept many silent, allowing the alleged abuse to continue unchecked. As Combs' trial unfolds, the broader implications are coming into focus. If convicted, the federal case could embolden more survivors to come forward, potentially leading to hundreds of additional lawsuits. For Pines and Rivers, speaking out is a step toward reclaiming their power and supporting others. The first step is to come forward, talk to somebody about it, get help, Pines urges. His experience, though traumatic, has fueled his determination to ensure no one else endures what he did. Justice for Pines means accountability, jail time for Combs, and a reckoning for an industry that allowed such behavior to fester. For Rivers, it's about healing from the loss of a dream and the trauma of intimidation. For the thousands of alleged victims, it's about breaking the silence that protected a predator for decades. As the world watches Combs fall from grace, the stories of those like Pines and Rivers serve as a stark reminder. Behind the mansions, private jets, and celebrity parties, a darker truth can lurk, waiting to be exposed. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up, share it with friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this.